Remember, live from Atlantis, tonight, the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival kicks off with plenty to savor. Megan Shepard and the R News team brings us 5 days of flavor-packed fun, 30 events, and over 100 international tastes. Plus, find out how you can win tickets to some of the hottest events. But first, health officials sounding the alarm after a spike in chlamydia cases last month, most of them in New Providence. The Ministry of Health slashing treatment costs as part of new measures to tackle the outbreak. And a man in his late 20s gunned down outside a church last night. Police say 2 masked men on scooters opened fire before fleeing. Spot shot of technology alerting officers to the scene. Then in our news at 7:30, the United States warns of visa cancellations for foreign officials linked to Cuba's labor export program. But the Prime Minister is pushing back. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. A spike in chlamydia cases is raising alarms, with most of those cases coming from New Providence. And now health officials are stepping in, slashing treatment costs as part of a bigger push to bring those numbers down. Bethany McDermott gets us started with the latest.
In the month of February 2025, we had 131 lab-confirmed cases of chlamydia.
The startling statistics coming from National HIV and AIDS and Infectious Disease Program Director Dr. Nikia Forbes, who called the triple-digit figures alarming. It's a frightening figure considering the ministry reported a monthly high of 89 in 2024 with a low of up to 50 cases monthly. But an even bigger concern, according to Dr. Forbes, is the likelihood that the figures recorded are not an accurate representation of cases.
People can have symptoms and they can go and seek treatment. They may not have a lab test to confirm it. And we have to pay attention, because if we see chlamydia rates going up, this may be followed by other STIs like gonorrhea, syphilis, and indeed HIV.
STIs like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis can be mild and can exist without your knowledge. In the case of chlamydia, though, infected individuals could experience pain during urination, abnormal discharge, and low abdominal pains. Data from the Ministry of Health and Wellness revealed that the majority of cases were recorded on New Providence. 24% of the cases were recorded in people aged 15 to 19, and another 24% in ages 20 to 24. Additionally, 76% of the recorded cases were confirmed in female. Now, in light of the sharp increase, the Ministry of Health, they're doing something about it. Dr. Forbes telling us they're launching an aggressive education campaign. They're also advising Bahamians to practice safe sex and using condoms.
Reduce risks for STIs, and some of those ways may include mutual monogamy and limiting the number of sex partners. And in cases where that is not being done, we'll practice safe sex and use condoms and testing partners.
And we are ensuring that we have the medical treatment in place in our pharmacies. And as a policy decision today, we've moved away any cost associated with providing that treatment to patients who have tested positive.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bethany McDermott.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Bethany. Now the country's murder count climbing again after a man in his late 20s was gunned down on Fleming Street last night. His death marks the 17th killing for the year. Police say the shooting happened around 8 p.m. just outside a church. According to press liaison Chief Superintendent Sharia King, officers arrived to find the victim's lifeless, bullet-riddled body. Police say moments earlier the victim was walking near the church when 2 men on blue scooters pulled up. Both wore dark clothing with black and white scarves. One pulled out a gun and opened fire. Police say the pair then sped off. Officers were alerted by spot shotter technology, which picked up gunfire near Fleming Street and Blue Hill Road. Here's Chief Superintendent Sharia King.
Officers were literally on patrol in the area and responded within a minute of this incident happening. So as you can see, our officers out there, and they're doing their job.
Now, when asked if the victim was known to police, the chief superintendent declined confirming, saying it's still early in the investigation.
The police is doing their utmost best to do their investigation. This is in our preliminary stage. And while you as the media colleagues may want to know that information, there's some information I need to be cautious of as they do their investigation, so as to not compromise the investigation.
All right, a murder suspect has lost his bid to block the testimony of an anonymous witness at his trial. Bruce Colebrook's lawyer, Code Smith, argued that his client's constitutional right to a fair trial would be violated if he couldn't confront his accuser. Colebrook, who is on bail, is facing a retrial for the 2012 murder of Bahamian sergeant at Christie Park. But Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson ruled that Colebrook can still receive a fair trial. Prosecutors plan to call a witness whose identity will be shielded from the defendant, with their voice also altered. However, the judge and jury will be allowed to see the witness. And after a string of 3 homicides in just over 72 hours, Prime Minister Philip Davis hit the streets of Flamingo Gardens Tuesday, touring the community alongside top government officials. The visit was part of efforts to tackle rising violence and check in on the Clear, Hold, Build initiative, a strategy aimed at breaking up gangs, boosting police presence, and breathing new life into crime-ridden areas. Davis was joined by National Security Minister Wayne Monroe, Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin, Works Minister Clay Sweeting, and Area MP Keith Bell. They walked through cleared, overgrown lots, areas that once may have provided cover for criminal activity. Davis says it's all part of a broader push to make the community safer.
It will inspire clean behavior. And having cleaned them down, we hope that the neighborhoods and those who live in the community, we hope to engage them to assist us in continuing to keep it clean. And that's the cry and the charge I give to the neighborhoods, that you help us keep the neighborhood clean. And that's why the other aspect to this program is whole. And the whole means that we'll be that have the continued and consistent approach to ensuring that we have the areas clear and clean.
And the Prime Minister says the initiative is about more than cleaning up. It's about sustainable change. Next steps include creating green spaces and building affordable homes to reduce crime. Also present, Police Commissioner Shannon Knowles and her senior team. During the cleanup, police say they recovered a firearm from one of the lots.
While this property were being cleared down, we would have discovered a .38 revolver with 6 live rounds of ammunition. So that firearm were handed over to CSI for processing.
All right, a feast to remember is about to begin. Live from Atlantis, the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival kicked off today, serving up 5 days of flavor-packed fun. We're talking 30 events, over 100 international flavors, and endless delicious moments you won't want to miss. And guess what? You could win tickets to some of the hottest events. You've got to stay tuned to find out how. It's all happening right here on our news in our next segment, exclusively with our Megan Shepherd. But before we check in with her and the Our News team over at Atlantis, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, I see the fields like still hovering below 70s, 73.
Comfortable temperatures out there and a good time to go across to Paradise Island. But you did mention delicious foods, man. You didn't have to mention
Greg,
that.
I'm not trying to think beyond.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it. Yeah, but it is beautiful on the evening, on the outside right now. Temperatures comfortable, 75 with a few clouds. East-northeast winds at 7 miles per hour. Feels like temperature a nice and comfortable 73 degrees. Temperatures around the islands right now, 72, Freeport, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 71. We pick up 73s. Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key. Nichols and Andros, 74. Governor's Harbor, you guys, is 76. Central Bahamas, 75. In South Andros, Kemps Bay, also in Arthurstown, Cat Island, 75 there. 76 is Georgetown, the Exumas, Deadman's Key. Long Island, Copen Townsend, Salvador, 74. 76, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay. 77, Abrahams Bay, Providentialis, Tricks and Kickers Islands, Matthewtown, Inagua. You are the warm spot, 79 degrees at this hour. Satellite radar composite, not really much to talk about. High pressure and a dry air mass in place. That's going to continue to dominate our weather through tonight, tomorrow. Looks like the balance of the week, front boundary down near the south. Basically going to move out of our area. So good week. Balance of the week, get out and enjoy. Weather's going to be very cooperative. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, 5 days, 30 events, and over 100 international flavors. Megan Shepherd and the Our News team are live from Atlantis as the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival kicks off. Plus, find out how you can win tickets to the hottest events.
Coming up in sports, the weather already had us cold. The final result left us even colder. A total gut punch for Team Bahamas on the opening night of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships.
That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball fans. Get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and electrifying performances. An unforgettable week at the Wine and Food Festival starting March 10th with Our News. Welcome back to Our News, your official guides for the 3rd Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival, where we are no longer in countdown mode because the festival is in full swing. Activities kicked off this morning where our resident entertainment correspondent, diva, and reporter Barbie Danielle Miller took part. I can't promise you that she got in the kitchen, but I can tell you that she is up in the Bridge Suite now, where the first official event for those of us 18 or older are taking part in the opening swirl party. We will check in with Danielle later at 7:30 p.m. But right now, joining me is one of the highlighted vendors for tomorrow's tacos and tequila event, Miss Lacey Ann Martin from Bell Monkey Foot. I heard that last year was so good that you guys decided to come back again this year.
Thank you for having me. You were right. It was an excellent event last year. There were a lot of people. It was a great response. The energy was wonderful. And we were really grateful for the opportunity to be featured because we're a small business. You know, we're local, and to be in the arena with the great stuff like Martha Stewart, Robert Irvine, J.J. Johnson, like, we watch them on TV, so.
Absolutely. I was doing a little bit of research. Some of us call it stalking. And I saw some amazing plates on your Instagram page. Tell us, what will you be bringing to the festival tomorrow?
So we were trying to keep it a secret, but since you asked nicely, I'm going to share. Actually, tomorrow we'll be doing a street style taco. It's going to be featuring pig cheeks, which are known as guanciale taco, with an Asian pear and mango salsa. It's going to have a pineapple glaze on it as well. So you're going to have a salty, really fresh, and kind of sweet, a nice balance like what we had last year. Very similar.
Awesome. Is there a limit on how many I can have? Because that sounds amazing.
No, listen. Last year we had person who had 5 and 6. So we're definitely prepared for that again because, you know, we bring you big, bold flavors.
Awesome. So what are you looking forward to most this year?
Seeing the locals come out and seeing what everybody else has to offer and just seeing people respond to what we have. You know, this is an opportunity for us to showcase that we're more than what we do on a regular basis, like the regular tacos and burgers and quesadillas. This is to show you that we can explore and we can take really exotic ingredients and make them accessible and delicious.
Absolutely. And for those persons who won't be in the house tomorrow, but you can be. Stay tuned to our news because we're giving away free tickets. Where can we find you?
You can find us at the John Watkins Distillery. It's at number 17 Delancey Street. We're open 7 days a week except Bahamian holidays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That will be my first stop tomorrow. And speaking of those not in the house, it's time for our sports presented by 10YS. Ronaldo.
Thanks, Megan. And if we didn't have a reason to be jealous before, we definitely do now because festivities start tonight at the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival.
You think they got to-go plates?
I hope they do. Before we get to that, welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. He's the greatest goal scorer in Bahamian beach soccer history, but you know Leslie St. Fleur wishes he could have those 2 shots back. The opportunities were there, but in the end, Team Bahamas fell just short to Panama on night 1 of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. The sides drew 2-2 in regulation, but Panama eventually edged the Bahamas 4-3 on penalties to earn a point in Group B.
A 5-member team will represent the Bahamas at the World Athletics Indoor Championships. The 20th edition of the meet will be hosted March 21 to 23rd in Nanjing, China.
In his first season at the Division I level and first with the Omaha Mavericks, Valentino Simon is now a part of the madness. He's headed to the NCAA tournament. The Mavericks won the Summit League Championship to earn an automatic bid into the men's Division I field of 68. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the global trade war intensifies. Canada slaps $20 billion in tariffs on the United States after Trump's 25% steel and aluminum hike. China vows action while the European Union plans its own countermeasures. Plus, TCI residents urged to avoid suspected SpaceX debris. And the new OAS chief stressing Caribbean unity amid funding concerns. The story when Our News returns.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Pack your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and electrifying performances. An unforgettable week at the Wine and Food Festival starting March 10th with Our News.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Canada has slapped retaliatory tariffs on over $20 billion worth of U.S. goods after President Donald Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum took effect. The move targets $12.6 billion Canadian dollars in steel products, plus items like sports equipment, computers, and cast iron goods. China has vowed to take all necessary measures to protect its interests, while Canada's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom criticized Trump's approach as creating a lawless trade world. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the tariffs, saying they're about national security concerns, not punishment. Meanwhile, the European Union plans countermeasures on 26 billion euros worth of U.S. goods, calling it a strong but proportionate response.
Our countermeasures will be introduced in 2 steps, starting with April 1st and fully in place as of April 13th. In the meantime, we will always remain open to negotiations. We firmly believe that in a world fraught with geo-economic and political uncertainties, it is not in our common interest to burden our economies with such tariffs.
Authorities are warning residents on Turks and Caicos Island not to touch any suspected debris from SpaceX's Starship Flight No. 8, which was lost over the sea near the Bahamas on March 6th. Government advisory asks members of the public who spot debris to report it by emailing nationalsecurity@gov.tc with the location, time, and photos without handling the material. The spacecraft broke apart shortly before reaching its maximum altitude during its launch from Texas. While the mishap caused brief flight disruptions, normal operations have resumed. No injuries or property damage have been reported. Newly elected Secretary General for the Organization of American States, Albert Ramden, emphasized the importance of Caribbean unity in driving recovery and maintaining the relevance of the OAS. Following his election Monday, Ramden said the collective action positions the region for greater progress. When asked about concerns over potential U.S. funding cuts, Ramden responded this way.
The functions, the projects which the OAS is carrying out needs to continue, because they have a function, and a goal. So our view is we're going to engage with the U.S. And I have started it already. Yes, they have a different view with regard to multilateralism. But as I said before, if I can show them, I can demonstrate to them the value their funds have in terms of the impact on security, for instance, that it's a positive one, then basically we have proven that it serves also their interest. I think that's the way to engage with them in a very concrete, direct way, and I hope that they will then see the benefit of supporting the OAS and continue supporting.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was March 12th. Then in our news at 7:30, a measles surge in the United States sparks global concern. What Bahamian parents need to know as the Ministry of Health issues an advisory. And from Nassau to public service in the U.S., Avril Cherisard secures over 50% of the vote, becoming the commissioner-elect for Miramar, Florida. She shares her pride and election day experience when our news returns.
This was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1952, the Imperial Order Daughters of the Empire opened their headquarters in Nassau on Elizabeth Avenue and Shirley Street. Formed in 1900, the IOD was a women's charitable organization dedicated to community service, child welfare, and distressed citizens. In October of 1976, they donated their headquarters to the Bahamas Historical Society. And in 1986, this photograph of Halley's Comet was taken by John Zerbos at approximately 5 a.m. using time exposure as the comet appeared in the eastern sky from his residence in Winton Estates in New Providence. Fast forward to 2014. Chaos erupted outside the Department of Immigration on Hawkins Hill. The customs warehouse near the Lyndon Pinling International Airport, Arawak Key, and customs headquarters. Scores of members of the Customs Allied Workers Union staged protests. Union members were upset over proper compensation, health insurance, and what they called an illegal shift system. And in 2018, charges were dropped against 10 people in connection with the destruction of a fence blocking an access point to Cabbage Beach. The group was represented by attorney and former DNA leader Branville McCartney. It brought an end to a nearly 2-year-long legal dilemma. The Cabbage Beach matter had been a contentious issue. All right, if you want to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is our Talia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. Talia, before we go,
yes,
Megan and them, they're not the only ones having fun.
Right, we had an experience today with Pink Sand.
With Pink Sand, yeah. Did you get your bottle?
I did.
Yeah, I got a bottle from Pink Sand. It's a new beverage company. And this one is original gin. Which
vodka.
One did you get?
Original vodka.
Original vodka. All right. Well, listen, if you want to learn more about Pink Sand, they are actually one of the vendors at this year's Wine and Food Festival. They will be at the Taco and Tequila event.
That's
happening tomorrow. So if you want to go and experience what we had today, be sure and attend the Wine and Food Festival. And if you can't, I know that we'll have something on our social media pages for you to have a look and see exactly what the brand is about and how you can actually try this too.
For sure. All right. Well, coming up, a measles surge in the U.S. sparks global concern, plus a Bahamian makes history in the city of Miramar. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, the United States is threatening to revoke visa privileges for foreign government officials, citing concerns over their involvement in Cuba's labor export program. Prime Minister Philip Davis responds. Also, cases of measles are rising worldwide, with hundreds confirmed in the United States. While there are no reported cases in the Bahamas, one local pediatrician says parents should not let their guard down. Plus, a Bahamian woman is making history in the city of Miramar, Florida. We will tell you all about the Commissioner-elect Avril Charzard coming up, and later in just a few days, Grand Bahama will focus on all things fashion as the Grand Bahama Port Authority gears up for Freeport Fashion Week, an event celebrating style and culture. We'll tell you what you can expect when our News Live at 7:30 returns.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision's actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. Well, the United States is threatening to cancel its visa privileges for foreign government officials amid claims government officials are involved in Cuba's labor export program. Speaking on the sidelines of the RF Business Economic Outlook Wednesday, Prime Minister Philip Davis pushed back.
Our laws, starting from our Constitution, prohibits that kind of engagement. Well, this government will never, don't intend to engage in any forced labor. It's against our laws.
The new policy pushed several Caribbean leaders to publicly condemn the plan, emphasizing the importance of Cuban medical staff across the Caribbean. The Davis administration, along with successive governments, have recruited Cuban workers to fill workforce gaps in healthcare and education. Still, Davis says the process is being reviewed.
The decision is based upon the fact that there's a belief that we're engaging in forced labor by hiring Cubans. We've indicated that we review. We don't think that we have done it. We are not doing it, and we will review where we are and get back to them in due course.
While cases of measles are popping up across the world, including in the United States, where there are now hundreds of confirmed cases. While there have been no reported cases here in the Bahamas, a local pediatrician says now is not the time for parents to let their guards down. Our Joshua Williams reports.
A measles outbreak in the United States is causing concern for parents. But could we see something here? Today we speak to a local pediatrician who tells us what you can do to protect your kids.
A measles outbreak in the United States has health officials concerned, especially when it comes to children. The biggest outbreak was reported in Texas, which has over 200 confirmed cases. Children and teens make up the majority of patients. And with over 20 years as a pediatrician here at home, Dr. Deshawn Saunders says parents should be on their guard.
In the last 50 years, measles was something that you knew in a textbook. And even for me, graduating from medical school about 20 years ago, it's something that I read about. Now, as a clinician, I need to be able to know measles walking through the door. And so we as clinicians, we now have to arm ourselves with the tools and the experience to identify measles because it's very contagious.
Measles is an infection caused by a virus that spreads easily and could be fatal. And while death rates are down worldwide as more children receive the appropriate vaccine, it still kills more than 200,000 people a year. Here are the symptoms you should look for.
They'll be sick, they'll be lethargic, they don't want to eat. Measles, the rash usually starts on the forehead, then it moves to behind the the ears. So this is a rash that actually starts on the face and then it progresses downwards. They also would have certain spots in the mouth called complex spots.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness says they're monitoring the situation, and while no cases have been reported, the MMR vaccine is available for free at government clinics. Despite speculation and misinformation, Dr. Saunders says it's necessary, especially for children.
Given the first dose, that gives you 92% coverage, and it gives you 92% protection. It doesn't mean that you won't get the disease, but if you were to be exposed, your symptoms would be mild, and then with the second dose, it gives you 96% coverage.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. And while on the topic of health, the Bahamas recorded a shocking number of chlamydia cases last month, and officials from the Ministry of Health say the bulk of the cases were recorded right here in New Providence. The startling statistics coming from National HIV/AIDS and Infectious Disease Program Specialist Dr. Nakia Forbes, who called the triple-digit figures alarming. Now, the full story is available now at ournews.bs and on the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. Well, a Bahamian woman is making history in the city of Miramar, Florida. On Monday, we introduced you to Avril Shahrazad, a Nassau native who moved to the U.S. on a full academic scholarship to Florida Memorial University at the age of 16, later earning a graduate degree and building a career in public service. Now she has achieved another major milestone, becoming the commissioner-elect for the city of Miramar. Shahrazad says unofficial results show she secured over 50% of the votes. She says she is proud of the achievement and shares what the election day was like.
It was such a positive energy. I met on several occasions with my other running mates, and they felt the same energy, that we can rely on our residents to use wisdom and discernment in their voting. And that word came up so many times yesterday, wisdom and discernment. I'm proud of our residents for doing the right thing for themselves. I ask them to be selfish in their voting. Vote for somebody who you can tell has the heart and the well-being of the residents and the community at the forefront. And that's how they voted last night.
And that election took place on Tuesday. Shahrazad says she's ready to hit the ground running and get to work. She also had a special message for the Bahamian diaspora.
This entire campaign season, I've made it a very, very prominent part of my pledge that the voice of the Bahamas in South Florida will not be muted. We will find our common voice. We will speak as Bahamians in South Florida, knowing that there is power in numbers. We will organize properly and we will build the community we need to build in South Florida to push the Bahamas as far as we can within our own area.
All right, such good news. Congrats to her. And in just a few days, Grand Bahama will be buzzing with style as the Grand Bahama Port Authority gears up for Freeport Fashion Week, an event celebrating fashion, culture, and design. Let's take a look. Freeport Fashion Week and Rip the Runway are two major fashion events being held in honor of the Grand Bahama Port Authority's 70th anniversary. The three-day event kicks off on March 14th at the Stone Crab Restaurant with an opening night fashion show. On Saturday, March 15th, a fashion talk and beauty showcase will be held, and the grand finale takes place on Sunday, March 16th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom, where designers will compete. Chairman of the Freeport Fashion Week, Fatima Zara Kaboub, says this event is not just about fashion,
but it's also for us. It's a way of displaying our talent in Grand Bahama, be that designers, be that hair specialist, hairdresser, beautician, a model, accessory designer. This is a platform for you. This is what we're going to be showcasing for the whole of Grand Bahama, for the whole world to see, really, because now with social media, it's impossible to hide.
Participating designers have been challenged to create unique straw dolls as a part of the showcase. The chairman is encouraging residents to attend and says Sunday is the big event.
It's the Rip the Runway competition, which is a designer competition. So each designer is asked to present a couple of pieces each to compete in a very special event.
Human Resources Director at the GBPA, Dr. Talina Smith, says the GBPA is excited to support the initiative.
Last year, these show proved that we have so much talent here on the island of Grand Bahama, and we, the Port Authority, are so proud to support these events, as these provide a platform for our designers, our licensees, and models to display their platform on a national level while encouraging future licensees.
All right, so exciting, and that's this Friday. Well, sunny skies and comfortable temperatures in the capital as we hit the midweek mark. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, happy TGI. What? Sorry, not TGI.
No, not yet.
Should be hump day.
It's only happy hump day. Not yet. He wants to get to Friday. Me too, Greg.
I'm a little too ahead of myself, but yeah. Happy hump day, and of course a beautiful spring day around the islands. Temperatures managed to get near the 80-degree mark, and we are now settling into the low 70s. We will see those temperatures dip into the 60s. A few clouds outside our studios. East-northeast winds at 6 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 73. Satellite radar composite quiet across area. Ridge of high pressure and a very dry air mass in place. Not much in terms of any significant clouds across our area. Frontal boundary down near the southeast Bahamas, well actually across Hispaniola, will continue to move away from us. That high is going to slide out. Weak winds will be with us for a couple of days, and then we do expect a nice and beautiful weekend before we see another front. That front should get in here sometime by early next week, and that will usher in some nice cooler temperatures as well as some breezy conditions for the upcoming week. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast. Still to come.
Still to come in our news, the wait is over. The Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival is officially underway. Our news team is still at Atlantis, and our Megan Shepherd is standing by live to take us inside the culinary event with a special guest. That's all coming up when our news returns. Stay with us.
It has the looks, the style.
To give you a summer of fun with over $20,000 in cash and prizes. Upgrade your premium lunch combo to a medium or a large, or purchase a large salad with a Coke for a chance to win amazing prizes like a 50-inch TV and soundbar, a staycation at Comfort Suites, or a $3,000 Going Places travel voucher. Enter online at Wendy's Bahamas Facebook page for a chance to win.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Diet-friendly special.
Earning a living.
Hi, Megan. I am at the Bridge Suite, and this suite is absolutely legendary. As you can see behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but it always gets me about the details of Atlantis. And behind me are seahorses. I mean, this place is absolutely breathtaking. If you ever really took a walk around here, just in the dig alone, and look at the details that are in here, you'll be blown away. And speaking of the dig, you're not officially a Bahamian unless as a child you take a walk through that dig. And you know what else made you an official kid in the 90s? An easy bake oven. Today was the first event. It was the Barbie and Ken Adventures, and I was in the kitchen. Now, the event was only for ages 3 to 12, so I was a little older for the event, but I had somebody help me out. Take a look.
It is day 1 of Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival, and it's 10:30 in the morning. We are in the kitchen for our Barbie and Ken culinary adventure. The team did not leave out the kids during this year's festival, and we will be making some sweet treats from Barbie's recipe book. All of the ingredients are set out on the countertop. The kids are prepping, making sure that their hands are nice and clean for today's cooking adventure. I see sugar, I see flour, I see egg, I see a good time. And we have Chef Riche to tell us what we'll be cooking or baking. I think this is baking.
Yeah, we're baking.
Baking up today. So what are we baking?
We will be preparing strawberry sugar cookies from the Barbie cookbook's recipe.
Okay, I will be taking over this report from Danielle from now on. First, we put the sugar, flour, eggs, and butter in. Then we mixed it up, and then we put it in one bowl and put it in plastic. Then we put it in the fridge for a while. Then when we took it out, we rolled the dough and flattened it out and made cookie shapes, and now it's in the baker. Now the cookies are out the oven, it's time to eat. I'm reporting for Our News. I'm Cassidy Barry.
And I'm Danielle Miller.
And we're reporting for Our News.
Good job.
Thank you so much to our Barbie reporter, Cassidy. And you can go to our social media pages for her special video that is up there right now, where she gives you a little bit more into the cooking adventure. Now, we are also at the Bridge Suite for another event to kick off the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival, and that is Wine Down Wednesday. This evening, Managing Director and President of the resort, Audrey Oswald, gave a welcome. Take a look.
Welcome to the 3rd annual Nassau Paradise Island Food and Wine Festival. We're thrilled to have you here and very pleased that everybody could make it up to the Bridge Suite tonight. This is our 3rd year for the event. It keeps growing every year, and we're very excited about that. So hopefully you get around, and this is not the only event that you attend, and you have the opportunity to really explore and tease your taste buds as you taste your way through our event.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Audrey Oswald. And from here, we are going to swirl. You see this little dance? I told you I'd get like a big dancer. We are going to swirl over at the Ocean Club Clubhouse. Well, until tomorrow, guys and gals, deuces. Back to you.
Coming up in sports, an opening night loss for Team Bahamas on the beach soccer pitch. Find out who's headed to the World Indoor Championships, and the first Bahamian player punches his ticket to this year's NCAA tournament.
And later, it's a beautiful Wednesday in Nassau with pleasant conditions. Greg is back with all your weather details when our news returns.
your bags and bring your taste buds on another amazing adventure. Starting March 10th through the 14th, the Our News team is live from the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival at the Atlantis Resort, nightly at 7 and 7:30. As your official guides, we're giving you front row seats to world-renowned wine and spirit producers, award-winning chefs, culinary icons, and electrifying performances. An unforgettable week at the Wine and Food Festival starting March 10th with Our News.
At RBC, we're proud to support Alive's Ultimate Business Makeover campaign for a second year. We know that micro, small, and medium businesses are vital to our economy. They drive innovation, and more importantly, they create jobs. By investing in their growth, we're fostering economic success, and together we can pave the road to a thriving business community.
Pack your bags and bring your taste buds on another
opportunities. We just lacked composure in front of the goal, and we missed several opportunities to go up in the score.
Krevin Ferguson struck first for Team Bahamas with his goal at the 7th minute in the first period. Wood Julmus made the lead 2-0 with his goal at the 10-minute mark in the second period. Panama worked their way back into the match with goals from Alfonso McKenzie, and Alberto Kelly scored the equalizer with just 4 minutes left in regulation to force extra time. With an opportunity to end it, St. Fleur missed a penalty kick with 10 seconds remaining in extra time, and we went to penalties. Each side was perfect through 3 kicks and missed their 4th try. St. Fleur missed the 5th for Team Bahamas, and McKenzie struck his attempt to seal the win for Panama.
We came into the game knowing that we're going to create our chances, and we're going to cost us just finishing our chances. Panama had a few chances and they put it away. The referee gave us a penalty in the last second. Unfortunately, we didn't put it away. We practiced those things. They always go in, we just didn't go in this time.
On match day 2, the Bahamas will face the United States tonight at 8 p.m. The USA defeated Trinidad and Tobago on penalties in their first matchup.
A 5-member team will represent the Bahamas at the World Athletics Indoor Championships.
The 20th edition of the meet will be hosted March 21 to 23rd in Nanjing, China. The team will be headlined by 60-meter hurdles world record holder and defending meet champion Devin Charlton. Fellow Olympian Denisha Cartwright will also compete in the 60-meter hurdles field. Cartwright ranks 7th on the World Athletics top list at 7.78 seconds, while Charlton is 11th at 7.83 seconds. The team also includes a younger sister, Anthea Charlton. The Florida Gators Jr. will contest both the 60-meter and the long jump. She currently ranks 2nd on the top list in long jump with a mark of 6.98 meters. Camille Rutherford will also compete in the 60 meters, while Wendell Miller will contest in the 400 meters. The team will be coached by Bernard Roll and managed by Ronaldo's uncle, Foster Dorsett. The team doctor is Kent Bazard.
In his first season at the Division I level and first with the Omaha Mavericks, Valentino Simon is now a part of the madness. He's headed to the NCAA tournament. The Mavericks won the Summit League Championship to earn an automatic bid into the men's Division I field of 68. The Mavs will learn their seeding March 16th on Selection Sunday. Simon played locally at Government High School before he moved on to Southwest Virginia Community College, where he averaged 21 points and 14 rebounds per game as a freshman. As a sophomore, he transferred to Hutchinson, where he helped lead the Blue Dragons to the NJC2A tournament, averaging 13.4 points and 8.3 rebounds per game. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Do you think anyone's watching and listening at the Atlantis? Because no one's answered us on the to-go plates.
I hope so, because I do enjoy some leftovers.
Or, we could be there. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, nice weather with warm temperatures and a light breeze in the capital today. Greg has your full weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Diet-friendly special.
At Koshright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges.
Guaranteed low pricing on every item every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Koshrai members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Koshrai, where membership truly has its privileges.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Best customer service, on-time payout, clean environment, and I will always take my chances with chances.
That's what I'm talking about. You better take a chance with chances, all right? And I'm here with this beautiful lady. Her name is Deja Bethel, and she is the recipient of a brand new 2024 Suzuki Swift.
2024 Suzuki Swift. Well, I've been a customer with you guys for a very, very long time, and my luck has always been on with chances.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary that moved through the chain of islands well to the southeast of us across Hispaniola. Dry air mass courtesy of a high-pressure system that moved out of the Gulf of Mexico, now invading us. The high is weakening as we speak. We're losing those strong winds that we've been having over the last couple of days, but the seas are slow to subside. So we're asking you boaters and you beachgoers along the Atlantic exposures, please exercise some caution out there because we still have some swells and it's a little bit choppy on the Atlantic side. But inside the islands, it's pretty nice. High pressure will stay with us through the remainder of the week. That will continue to provide us with some beautiful weather. Boating forecast for the Northwest Bahamas tonight. Once again, as I mentioned, use caution on the Atlantic side and high risk for rip currents out there. Southeast to south winds at 10 to 15 knots, and they will fall light and variable at times. Tonight, seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 6 feet in northeast to easterly swells. High tide is at 7:53 tonight. The low tide takes place at 2:02 in the morning for the central and southeastern islands. Caution flag is still in place for you guys down there as well. High risk of rip currents out there. East to south easterly flow though at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, building up to 6 feet in northeasterly swells in Atlantic exposures. In the national forecast, this is how things will be looking for the next 24 hours. In your extended forecast, nothing to talk about. That high will stay with us throughout the remainder of the week, looking for beautiful conditions. Temperatures will be back near the 80-degree mark. That's normal. Nighttime temperatures will be in the 60s, near the 70-degree mark. But we do expect another front by early next week. That could bring us some isolated showers, but the winds will be picking up once again behind that front. That's okay. Our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody. Natalia.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, Scotiabank Bahamas officials have sponsored junior Junkanoo parades across the country in an effort to preserve the rich cultural heritage in Grand Bahama. Excitement is building for the Junior Junkanoo Parade, set to take place on Saturday, March 15th. Ahead of the big event, the Junior Junkanoo Educational Tour made its final stop at Sunland Baptist Academy on Gambier Drive in Freeport, where students were treated to an engaging and interactive session filled with prizes and giveaways. The theme, Ready, Set, Prepare. Assistant Manager of Assistance and Support at Scotiabank Grand Bahama, Jamaica Pierre, explains the significance of the theme.
Each of you work very hard year after year to be a part of Junkanoo, and we know that this is no small feat. So just like the preparations and the steps that you take to achieve this, our goals in life are no different. You have to practice, you have to stay committed, you have to be determined, and you have to stick to the plan. And from what I'm being told, you guys are doing an amazing job. So let's give yourselves a round of applause.
And Scotiabank is also offering students a unique opportunity.
We would have spoken to the students about an initiative that Scotiabank has, a campaign actually, where we're giving the first 100 students that come in to open a junior account, they'll be getting a $50 credit to their bank account. So of course the promotion is to get students started from an early age with savings, and of course the bank wants to be a part of that with jump-starting that initiative.
All right, and with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see